Ever wonder why the earth is round? Or maybe flat? Or maybe it's triangle? Illuminati? Welcome to the 365 vlog, let's go! Hello people, today is October 5th, 2016, day 280 of the 365 vlog, and I'ma ponder you a question: homeschool? Public school? Continuing in the vein of like teaching and all that thing having to do with school, I thought of the question, what is like the better proposition, homeschool or public school? When I was younger, I really enjoyed the prospect of homeschool. However, homeschool is very different and needs to be treated very rightly, because the way I thought of it as a kid is that you just got to stay home and you would learn. But there are a lot of things that come with homeschool that don't come with public school, and I'm gonna compare the two and maybe try and figure out an answer through the course of this video. So with homeschool, you get like a controlled curriculum. You get to be within your own home. You get to set what your child learns. This is just like from a parent's standpoint. Your child gets a certain curriculum that is tailored to them and their needs. There's like flexible hours, there's no rushing. But I think on the flip side, there's less social interaction, which I think is a big part of school. Like, you learn a lot of social interactions, you make a lot of friends, you learn a lot of other things that you probably wouldn't learn if you were just isolated by yourself at home, outside of what your teachers or parent would want you to learn, or parents would want you to learn. Now, looking at like public school, that's another different beast in and of itself. You have set hours from a certain time to a certain time. You have a certain curriculum that isn't controlled by the parents and is controlled by the faculty that run the place there. Your child has many exposures that you can't actually control. It's a very volatile environment. Not like that it's dangerous, but maybe there's some things you just can't stop being learned from being learned. But one of the upsides is that your child will learn a lot of things. There's like maybe like some standard core things that your child will learn. There will be a lot more structure, which I think may or may not happen in homeschool, because it's very easy to just like be too relaxed and not as focused, and it takes someone who's really strong as a parent, or if they're just hiring a teacher, to really command a child's attention, especially at a very young age. Because ideally, I like the idea of homeschool, but I just don't like the fact that you don't socialize. I think there's so much more to just learning in, I guess, like public school or a public school or a school outside of your home than just like what you learn in the classroom. It's what you learn with interactions between people. And I think that's like even more important than maybe anything you learn out of a textbook, which is important because it's the basic foundation of your knowledge and general things to survive in the world. But one of the things I think is most important is human interaction. How do you make friends? How do you create bonds? How will people treat you? What should you expect from people? And there's a very like vast amount of ways that can go. People can treat you really horribly, people can treat you great, and this is based off of like a myriad of shit, right? You're just your looks, your personality, who you are you going to conform to the group, are you not going to conform to the group? It's actually very interesting when you look at all the minute details when it comes to social interactions in school and how much they build character. Because no one has the same experiences in school, right? No matter what level of school you're at, they're not ever the same. They're very different, they're varying, and they evolve and change. Maybe after high school just never goes away, but people always say that high school just stays with you no matter where you are. It's just how you deal with it. But you'll be the popular person, or you'll be the not popular person, or you'll be the person that no one looked at, or the weird kid, or whatever like box they want to put you in. But it's interesting looking at how you deal with those outside of just like learning and all that good stuff. I find that really interesting. I think in an ideal environment, even if you were to do homeschool, it'd be really hard. Even if you did learn everything that was textbook and like you did everything properly, I think at the end of the day, it wouldn't be that great, because you wouldn't get like the full, I don't even know what it is, like in the other half of school, which is like talking to people, learning about social interactions, because you'll be starved of that. You will at the end of the day be alone, and you'll only know how to interact with those who you interact with, and definitely people who aren't your age. Maybe you'll have a couple of play dates, but you definitely will be alone most of the time unless you have a brother or sister. And even then, you probably won't be able to like be, I guess, what people would call normal or understand certain situations, because they never happened. So I think that's why I would advocate anyone to like go to like public school, not a public school, but like a school that's not your home. because I think you get that social aspect, and it's definitely, you don't want to shortchange like education in that whole formula of social interaction. Yes, you want your child to be socialized in the world, but you also want them to be smart. So definitely finding a good school for your child is very important, and that's actually very hard to do nowadays when people can't also just afford to live in their own homes. But that is something in and of itself. After about 5 minutes of rambling, I would say that public school wins and homeschool is great, but it just doesn't take the cake. Yeah guys, that's pretty much all I have for you today, and if you enjoy what you saw, don't hesitate to hit the like button, and if it's your first time here, subscribe for more. So tell me guys, what do you think about like homeschool versus public school? Do you think I missed anything? What do you think about like the pros and cons of each? Definitely think that socialization just plays the biggest role in my idea of like not doing homeschool. But yeah, tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Yeah guys, I'm Vandel, don't forget to keep it 365, and I'll talk to you next time with another video. Peace. Bye. And I think at the end of the day, yes, the teacher needs to effectively communicate what they know to the student, but the student also has to know what they're doing too. Because if they don't really know what they're doing at the end of the day, or they're not actually taking in what the teacher's putting out, then there's not going to be any learning going on.